Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to PTZOptics Live to all of our friends watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We hope that you're having a great week and ready for an awesome weekend. I am not alone today. Don't worry. We have a very special in-studio guest today here for a very important and very exciting, very announcement. Why don't we shout over to our in-studio guest and our host, Paul.
So today we have a major announcement, but first I wanted to talk about our cool, sick new animations. Good job, Tess, using the new graphic title designer in vMix 22.
It's a rough beginning, I must say, but as I continue to experiment with it, I'm sure they're going to get really fun. It's time for us to start talking about NAB, okay? So our booth is C Central Hall 3326, right in the heat of all the action. So be sure to join us there if you are able to. We would love to see you at our booth.
And with our booth at NAB, we can get you a free pass. So check out right here. There's our free passcode, LV3384. We'd love to have you as there and get in for free.
Yes, remember we only have a limited number of those, so make sure you get them while they're hot. Have you heard about our new TP-Link forum, or should I say knowledge base article, enlightening you on how to effectively and affordably ready your network for NDI? Check that out on the knowledge base if you have not done so. We do have a brand new video on that as well on our YouTube channel.
Next up, we have some app updates, as you guys may have seen, and maybe we'll just roll a quick clip to show everybody to see this, and I'll just talk over it. We have a new panoramic image map available. So this is the basic compact look at the app, but if we scrub towards the end of the video, we showed this last week, so I'll just briefly mention that we've got this cool way to upload a panoramic image, whether it's your church, whether it's your business space, your studio, your production environment, and then you can put the presets on top of this panoramic image. So this is just one of the new features in the app, included with Xbox control, improved live video preview, and we're making all these features available for Mac users as well. It's all coming out. It's really just been rolling out these past couple of weeks. So don't forget to check it out. PTZOptics.com/apps.
I don't know what happened to my files here. I replaced them, but I guess it didn't go through. Had some little tips there with the new title editor. Oh well, we have some tips for IP organization, a new video that we are going to share with you guys to make sure all of your networking ducks are in a row. Believe we have a clip for that we can play now.
Access and update this default IP address using your Mac or PC IP address settings tool. You can find a guide for this on our knowledge base at help.ptzoptics.com or detailed inside your specific camera setup video. You can also set up your PTZOptics camera with a DHCP IP address.
Next on deck, what do we have?
I'll take the next shot, Tess. Let's see. What do we got here? Boom! Now here's one that our engineering team has knocked out of the park. Again, we have a quick clip. This is for the NDI customers who may have had issues actually with discovery of NDI. I just had a customer yesterday saying that his vMix system would find his NDI camera and the next day it wouldn't. Well, we came up with a solution. Let's quickly show a little bit of it. You probably have seen it on our YouTube channel, so I'm just going to quickly show you a quick clip on this. This video is a helpful addition to your PTZOptics NDI camera setup video. In this tutorial video, we will review the PTZOptics NDI JSON editor, which is a new tool available from PTZOptics to help solve NDI discovery issues on your network. If you've ever had an issue with the discovery of an NDI source on your network, this tool can help. This tool will help you create a static entry. So there's just a brief little look at that there. Check it out, totally free, works on Google Chrome, Firefox, Mac or PC, doesn't matter. Will help you find and really take control of your NDI cameras over your network.
I think it's almost time to introduce our special guest, but we wanted to remind you guys of our newest camera, the PTZOptics 12X Box Cam. Don't forget, you can grab that now as it is available. And now, for our major announcement with our very own lead engineer, Matthew Davis.
The build-up is too intense. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hey, Paul. How you doing?
Thanks for coming on. So Matt is here to do a major announcement. We didn't know how to build it up any more than just have incredible suspense.
Well, I think the 4 or 5 years of development are enough suspense as it stands, to be honest. So we have, as I said, for 4 or 5 years, we've heard one request from our end users. And it was something we really didn't think we would be able to solve. However...
Don't cry, Matt.
Oh,
it's okay.
Yep. However, we are bringing a feature to you that is now moving out of an experimental phase and into a beta phase. And we're looking for your feedback on the introduction of broadcast frame rates. So,
Yay! I was thinking that because of this, let's have Tess go ahead and write it up on the whiteboard what these broadcast frame rates are.
Okay. So what you're going to get on the PTZOptics camera with the latest, and I'll go over which models are applicable, firmware update, you will now get 1080p, 59.94, 1080i, 59.94. You will get 1080p, 29.97, and 720p, 59.94. So those will be, when you do the firmware update, 1080p 59.94 will now be A, 1080p-I will be B, 1080p 29.97 will be C, and the last one's F.
Skip D&E there.
Yeah, well, they were occupied by our,
just keep you on your toes.
Composite and NTSC.
And just to quickly show a real life little camera select system here. See that little A, B, C, D? That's what Matt's talking about there.
The yellow dial.
I guess those are basically unused, Matt, until now.
Yeah, currently they were unused. And thank goodness.
Saving them for a rainy day.
Exactly.
It is raining today.
So, you know, it's really exciting. Obviously, we've been working on this for a while. So far, we've been able to test with, let's see, the NewTek TriCasters that have SDI inputs, Magewell equipment, Atomos equipment, and the decimators. And so far, we've had great success with all of them. Now, as this is graduating into a beta feature, we are looking for feedback from you. So anybody who's going to try this, you know, we're looking for you to give us feedback on what you're finding works, what doesn't, so that we can continue to improve this. Do I think it's finished? Maybe. But we're going to need some help from you guys to determine that.
So speaking of that, we need someone to test out some Blackmagic equipment. So if you're a Blackmagic customer and you have an SDI PTZOptics camera, go ahead and let us know, and we'll get you this firmware. How do people get the firmware, Matt?
It's already live on PTZOptics Firmware Finder.
Which answers this question.
So now we'll drill down some of the specifics here.
Okay.
A, this is only for the SDI output. This is not for IP. This only is for the SDI output. That being said, we only have this beta firmware available for the 12X SDI, 12X NDI, 20X SDI, 20X NDI, 30X SDI, and 30X NDI. These are all the PTZ models there. We do not currently support the older non-PoE models yet. And we do not obviously support the USBs as they don't have an SDI output. So yeah, I mean, if anybody's excited, go to PTZOptics Firmware Finder, do a search for it, and if you have one of those applicable models, download the firmware on the site. Note, the changelog does not reflect this yet. And it's because everything else about the camera operates perfectly. Really what you're gaining here is broadcast frame rates that are experimental.
So this is just one of the many firmware updates that has come out in the past few months. You know, one of the big things was the huge upgrade to the Visca IP controls that are available.
Yes.
And you were telling me a new one. I don't know if we can talk about it on the show about the HTTP commands. Can we talk about that?
Oh, yeah. So actually, I should mention, there is one other thing that you guys have asked for a lot. Now, I hate to say it, but you're going to have to go through the pain one more time. Currently, when you upgrade the firmware of your PTZOptics camera, there's something that everybody loses and they get really upset about, and that's their presets. With this latest firmware and with a new tool that we've made available, the upgrade tool version 2.8, after you do this firmware, moving forward, your presets will be saved as part of your backup file.
Yes.
You will also be able to use the tool now to save multiple versions of backups for different cameras.
Wow.
But back to what you were talking about. So we've continued to expand. We've got our Visca over IP. We've got Visca. We also have a lesser talked about method of control for via HTTP CGI commands. We've added a couple of new commands to this. It should be up live on the site, I believe, already. And that's image adjustments, so like brightness, saturation, image flip, ability to default those, focus lock and unlock. And I think that's everything that we added to it. But that's in addition to preset commands, pan, tilt, and zoom controls already. So we're building it up. You know, if you want to do some easy programming for the cameras, it's an easy way to do it.
So, and there have been so many new firmware updates. You know, it would take forever to go through them all. I mean, the big fan favorite out there is the support for the white balancing, the color temperatures. That was a big one.
Yes.
That you guys stuck in there.
Yeah. Well, we've got so many things we're working on that sometimes one just gets completed and makes its way in as we're focusing on something else.
So, Tess, are there questions that we should be
Sure. There's
about?
definitely some questions coming in. This one's from Daniel Wright. Is this applicable to the Z cams?
No, it is not.
So we're looking at our PTZ cameras, SDI out only. What if somebody has an NDI HX upgraded camera?
Absolutely applicable.
Okay, but
As
just
long as it
using
has
the
PoE.
SDI.
So yet again, it needs
out.
to be a PoE enabled model. If it is not PoE, it's not going to work for your unit. Don't try and force it on there, or you will brick your camera.
I believe that this is in reference to over IP.
No, this is out the SDI output only.
Sorry, I think I was referring to the new question coming in. I got ahead of myself there. The question was, but is it in the pipeline? And I think he means is IP.
Yet again, because this is just moving from experimental to beta currently, it is something that we're evaluating, but I can't even say yes or no yet.
Right. We're definitely looking for feedback, I believe, at this point.
It is my hope. It's definitely my hope to get there, but I can't make any promises at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, and these guys have been testing all the different products that we have available to us. You said TriCasters.
Yep.
How do you spell it? Not Atomos.
Atomos? Yeah.
Atomos, not Atomos. Atomos.
Were we missing?
The Decimators, Magewell. And we are definitely looking for some feedback from some Black Magic folks that are out there, if possible.
So someone just
mentioned, ATEM in particular.
We're missing 720p 2994.
We don't have any spot on the dial for it.
Okay.
So what we did is we looked at what the most popular broadcast frame rates being used are, and that's what wound up on the camera.
Makes sense.
Okay. Well, that was pretty much the big announcement. What I kind of thought would happen is we'd go to the podcasting studio, let that brew, and answer questions as we chat.
Sounds good.
Is that what you're thinking, Tess?
Yeah. If you want to take one more before we go over there, because I always leave out poor Twitchers. Hey, Greg, are those preset backups transferable to other cameras of the same model?
Technically, yes, but I would not recommend that, as you will be migrating all sorts of other settings from the camera, IP address, stuff like that. So it is highly recommended to not use it in that fashion. If you were in a pinch and say you had a backup camera and one camera went down, yeah, don't hesitate to load that backup file to your backup camera. But that's really the only time I would probably do such. Otherwise, you do potentially cause some problems on the camera.
All right, that covers it for us in here. We are going to head to our podcast post-show to answer more questions with you guys and have some more time with Matt Davis. We just announced the addition of broadcast frame rates in the form of beta. We're looking for some feedback from you guys on that for SDI out PTZOptics PTZ Gen 2 cameras. We'll see you in the post-show.